Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love college football as much as I do. Here's the season recap video for the Michigan Wolverines. To be honest, I think Michigan overachieved a little bit, considering all the pieces they lost last year, especially on the defense with Aiden Hutchinson, Ojabo, and all those great players. Not to say that Michigan doesn't have great players now, but obviously they're a little undersized, especially up front. That was a big problem in the TCU game. Um, they're are really young, but great players. I noticed they have more 5 stars playing, especially in the secondary. As far as rating 5 stars out of high school, you know what I mean? I do think Michigan's going to be a better football team next year defensively. Offensively, probably expect much of the same with the running game overall. It's going to be hard to replace Blake Corum. But I think it was a good thing that they played without Blake Corum the last 3 games. They're starting to adjust to playing without him. J.J. McCarthy, he played pretty good this year. What I didn't like about him was his attitude, the stuff he was saying before the TCU game, even during the game. Did you guys see that? Where he said he looked at his parents or whatever, and he said that we're about to score a touchdown, or we're about to win, and all this other stuff. Dude, look, as a Michigan fan, and yes, JJ, I'm talking to you. Am I impressed with you? No, I'm not. Did you play great? Yes. Are you one of the best quarterbacks in the country? No. Why? You're too arrogant, too cocky. Yes, you make big plays. A lot of teams made big plays against TCU's defense. So what? Guess what? You made plays against Ohio State secondary. So what? Stetson Bennett did. Sean Clifford did too. Humble yourself. Who are you to say anything about what we've done, what Michigan did? Remember, it's a team effort. It's not just you. Michigan's defense did a great job with Ohio State and C.J. Stroud. You didn't do everything by yourself. You're still too cocky. You need to humble yourself. Do I think you have what it takes to be a great quarterback one day? Yes, you do. And I'm pulling for you. But you aren't there yet, man. Sit down. But back to the whole team. I do think they overachieved a little bit because of who all they lost. When I looked at the schedule, I thought, well, they can win at least 10 games, maybe lose 2 at worst, and then at worst make a New Year's Six bowl game appearance, which they'd win. As far as look, because Ohio State brought back most of their team, and they had the new defensive coordinator. So, of course, it was easy to say they wouldn't beat Ohio State, but they did. As soon as they beat Ohio State, I thought, you know what, and the way they beat Penn State the way they did, I felt like they did overachieve, which is a good thing. Because now on the bright side, you got most of Michigan coming back next year, including J.J. McCarthy, who I think is going to take the next step at completing more passes, who I think is going to be not wiser, but I guess make better decisions with the football. So I do think Michigan had a great year. They actually overachieved. Like I said, I say it again because I emphasize that. They'll be back next year. As far as making the playoffs, I don't know, but I can say this. They're going to have a really good football team next year. They're going to be a lot better up front on the defensive line. And again, they're younger players. They didn't play much at all last year, so they're working on replacing that still. They're still growing pains. I think TCU was just growing pains for them. Not to say TCU didn't dominate the line of scrimmage. They did. But Michigan's going to grow from that. So they got nothing to be ashamed of.